Actually, you know, it's funny. I was thinking of an example of something else for another reason. I want to give you it to you as a classic, slightly strange maybe example of a prototype, but sure. Um, this is going to go out. So a prototype is something really light and dirty. So if you were, for instance, if you decided that you were going to design, you know, the next race car, your prototype would you'd probably sketch it out on a napkin and just show it to somebody and say, "I kind of like the look of this. What do you think?" And that person might say, "Well, what kind of performance are you looking for?" And you jot down the details. A prototype can be very quick and light and dirty. One of my favorite prototypes examples I heard of in the last year or so was an elementary school teacher here, local to us in the Bay Area in California. Her school wanted to go and bring the kids to um, a Civil War reenactment, right? And it was pretty expensive trip. And some of the parents were in and some of the parents were out, and they were sort of saying, should we do it? Should we not do it? And what the teacher did was she said, well, let's see if the kids actually like it. So what she did was one day she took two classrooms and she said, right, you know, in this room are going to be, you know, the Confederacy, and over here we're going to have the North, and let's reenact it ourselves and see how much interest we get out of it. That was her prototype for just a, you know, for seeing whether there was enough interest in among the kids themselves to go and explore this whole topic in more detail. I thought that was a really, really cool prototype, rather than sort of suddenly incur all that expense and send everybody on this trip, because, you know, there was, you know, she actually got real life feedback from our participants as to whether they found this interesting or not.
It's something like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it too. It's something that's quick and dirty in the sense that doesn't need to be perfect, but it gives you the information that you need. So an example would be if I'm a strength coach, you know, and I want to start to begin to look at whether or not we can collect information on athletes and how good they feel today. Well, maybe your prototype is you ask, you know, 7 athletes 3 questions, and maybe you don't even act on the questions, but you just see if you can collect the questions and store them. So for 1 week, your goal is to, can I ask these athletes questions? Will they answer them honestly? And can I store them? So now that gives you information as to whether or not you can actually do this, you know, process. Yeah. And what's wonderful about it is that you might see, you know, I can, but this other problem came up that I wasn't aware of.